Hello, here we are. We're back in action, for now at least, right? So here we are. I'm going to try and work on a couple things. I've got a list of sort of make 3 improvements. Hopefully, the quality of my speak. So use the words that are appropriate and hopefully not be as repetitious as I know I can be, at least the part of me that hears myself. Secondly, have good lighting. Make sure you can see things. And then thirdly, make this work for more people. Okay, so what is being produced right now is hopefully going to be there for you in its availability, and the way I'm doing so is pre-recording, and hopefully that'll sort of mitigate any of those kind of stressful moments that distract me, perhaps you, but also bring whatever it is this product is for you and how it lands in your life to be streamlined, to be appropriate, and reliable. All right, so here we are. This is a day where part of my rumination has been on as things are chipping away, as we might say, what falls off is part of, I guess, sort of the fluctuation of what I talk about when I celebrate sort of moon energy, right? So refining and making more clear how our intentions fit into our lives, right? So in the past, I've taken affirmations, suggestions. Of course, there are great words being said by many. Always there are quotes being thrown around constantly, and I sample. I take morsels. I try things on for a little bit, and then it sticks or it doesn't. And I kept thinking, oh, like how come it doesn't stay? Or is it really? Was it strong enough? Was it smart enough? Did I use enough of the words? So right, like did I get the ingredients right in order to make the action as nutritious as possible to really kind of absorb into my person. And I started thinking, of course, yes, in the past I've had this the commentary that lies behind the 3 parts of why we do things in at least 3 repetitions in the practice of yoga, vinyasa especially, because those 3 steps or those 3 sequences, they fall in line with the idea in the concept of embodiment. And embodiment in this way in yoga is described as, right, the first time you experience something, it's new and it is nothing like you, right? The second time it happens, it's not new and it's familiar, but you don't know who it's for. The third time, it's not new, it's beyond familiar, and it's entirely of you. So we have to go through a level of repetition, like anything they talk in science about memory, right? Programming, becoming, is that we must become embodied with our own sense of self, so much that you are so familiar, there's nothing that is unfamiliar, even though you're entirely surprised once you arrive. So I'd like to be surprised as well as entirely familiar with how this turns out. So let's practice and play. So you take a moment to close your eyes. It only takes a moment. Let's take 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhale it out through the mouth. That one is to feel fresh and new. Be surprised. What is this? Inhale again. Out through the mouth. Familiar, but what is this? Third one. In through the nose and out through the nose. It's you. Open your eyes. Let your hands come together at your heart. We take a bow gently to the mysterious place we're going. Let's start. Okay. So here we are in the setup. Hopefully the lighting is good. There's my body. There's my body. So last practice that we were in, which was Sunday, I talked about kind of working through the idea of mobility and allowing mobility to be that kind of spontaneous, unfamiliar thing that surprises you into and provokes you towards your familiarity. So we do these kind of like little wacky things that sort of look kind of floppy and dancey. This is one I've been liking, and this will be an evolved practice from the pose that we've been working on for the last couple of weeks. Right, so I'm going to bend my right knee, and I'm just turning over my right shoulder. I'm going to let my arms sweep back, and I inhale the center, and switch it. Left knee bends, and I turn over my left shoulder, arms sweep back. Inhale, center, right knee bends over the right. Inhale, center, over the left. Right, so the knee bends on the side that you're turning and twisting, and your arms get a little bit of a kind of a dancer sweep. This reminds me of that Katy Perry little boy that was doing that. I forget what is the name of that dance that boy did, but this is the evolved version of that Katy Perry dance. Right, so I'm just kind of letting my arms be swing, swang, swung. And so what holds on, right, is going to kind of move a little bit of momentum, and there's just like a little playful little sort of shift of body weight, so that when we're kind of going toward our twisted side, our grounded side is actually the opposite side. And you don't need to know that because you're automatically doing that, but that's what's happening if you're analyzing this, right? One more time to the sweep to the left, and then inhale up to the sky. Right, exhale to fold over the legs, and there they are. So this is your first reference, and usually it's the beginning of class, and that's where the warm-up is entirely the unfamiliar. It's that question mark, what is this, right? And then we get into the when next, right? So it's very Watchmen-like, Dr. Manhattan, do a flat back. Exhale, fold. Head drops. 2 more like that. Inhale, do a flat back. And exhale, fold. And then inhale again, flat back. Right, we should arrive somewhere where we start to notice that repetition is giving us enough reference to drop into the integrity of what you know, right? So your flat back is strong, you know that. And exhale, fold. Okay, the back of the legs are warm, and you'll walk your hands to the front of your mat, and you'll be in plank pose. This was a kind of a cute thing that I was practicing at the gym today. So you start from a plank pose, and all we're going to do is just lift the right leg, and then tuck the knee in towards your face. Right, very gently, you're going to turn the left heel over to the right, and then kick that right leg straight over to the left. Both hands stay on the floor. Okay, you're going to tuck it back in. Now you're going to take it over the back and to your left. Okay, tuck it in on the exhale and towards your face, over to your left. Let the pinky side of the foot touch the floor. Still the hands are holding. Your obliques are firing up massively right up and underneath the lats and into that right upper arm. Tuck it in and tuck it over. Right, just because this looks kind of big and flashy doesn't mean sort of it's inaccessible to those of you that may feel that you're kind of still working on mobility and finding strength. So one more time over to the left, as well as flexibility, right? So we can be graceful, just kind of keep a pretty picture in your mind. Okay, one more time, up and open. It's sort of like a plank with the suggestion that we were gonna drop over into a wild thing. This next tuck, you're going to bring the right foot between the hands and the left foot to meet it. Inhale to a flat back, and then exhale and fold. I'm wearing my earbuds to try to see if the sound quality might be better. less echoey, less airy, less lost, less sharing of all the other things that happen in the environment of my home. We'll see. Inhale through the flat back. And exhale, hold. One more time. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, fold. And then the hands touch the floor. Left foot steps back. Right foot back to plank pose. Okay? You walk your hands back to your feet, to your toes. Inhale to a flat back. And then sit to chair. Okay, this inhale, when you come up to stand, reach up to the sky. And when you exhale to right knee bend, arms over that right shoulder, let the right arm go down towards your left back leg, and your left arm is going up. So you can lean into the left heel and reach up through that left arm. Okay, inhale through center, switch it, left knee bends, so you get really kind of light, like you're taking weight off of the left foot, just to bend the knee. Most of the weight goes into your right leg. Left hand swoops back to the back of your right leg. Right arm is up. Okay, inhale through center one more time. Same thing over that right shoulder, left right hand to left leg. Inhale that through center and exhale it over the left shoulder. So that's 2 right there. Inhale through center. Exhale, fold. Now we'll translate the same idea to a forward bow with the same shape, and we'll just do it once. So this is where we tap into our familiarity, right? So left knee bends, right arm goes up, okay? And so that is a switched leg, but it's going to change. You're pushing down equally in both feet. Come all the way up, leading through that right arm, and then right at the top, that's when the legs switch. You go into the left heel, right knee bends, right hand to the back of the leg, and you can really explore this reach. Right, follow that left arm, both arms forward, and you go into your forward bow. So I guess this ends up being 4 times, but it really sort of balances out to 3 times on each side. Right, so right here, right knee bends, left leg is straight, left arm is up. So this is our familiar pose for twisting, which also is very, the invitation is easy to access, so everyone can tap into this one. The rise is a little bit more muscular, right? So you rise, reach through that left arm, so you keep the left leg or left side body straight. Then you get to the top and you switch. Your right leg is straightened, your left knee bends, and your right arm picks up, right? And you're in the right heel as that right arm is reaching. Inhaling up, whoo, center. Exhale and fold. Yay. Inhale, full, bright breath, halfway up. Exhale, fold. All right, so you start to feel also now, this is our third set actually, of our flat back series. Inhale through a flat back. And exhale, fold. So you can kind of take this one as the third set of 3. And we really notice how great of a technician you are at feeling yourself moving your body, right? Intention goes from the brain into the muscles, the sort of, I don't know, I think it's like a 1/5 of a second it takes for the actual information to travel to your muscles from your brain, so voluntarily at least. So it's very quick, but we almost slow it down purposefully so we can get into that meta-cognition of sort of finding where that happens, how it feels. Left leg lifts, left knee bends. You turn it, tuck it, and just place it. The pinky foot, side of the foot's on the floor, everything's cute, right? Tuck it back in. Now it's going over your shoulder, right? Still keeping, or over the hip really, but you're keeping your shoulders forward, so you're staying really toned in the center. Tuck it in, this is number 2, and straighten it. Right, you might even find that you can narrow the waist a little bit more right here, so you tighten it up in your transverse abdominal muscles. Okay, tuck it in to go out and open. Ooh, feels nice, right? The sort of, I guess it's slippery part of this, or what it feels like, the familiar part, makes you want to like kind of sink back into a down dog, and then we're staying in plank. Tuck it in. And it's over. Right, you get a little bit brighter breath on that right side of the underside of the ribs and shoulder. You tuck it in to open it up one more time. Third one. Ooh, I can feel my hamstring. Tuck the knee and place the foot between the hands. Right foot meets the left. Inhale through a flat back. Exhale, fold. Let this be a fold and hold so you can hold those legs. Inhale, a little brighter, longer, reach forward, flat back. And exhale, fold in a little deeper. Same thing, inhale to a flat back this time though. Keep the flat, strong back. Sit into the chair, the depth of the hips, the waist. Come up to stand, the reach. And then follow the brightness, right? Your arms can go wide out to the side or forward to the front reach, right? Or to the back, however it keeps you balanced in your sense of your center of gravity, right? So playing with that and also dealing with it, whatever conditions are around you, right? So distractions, wobbly floor, your mat, I don't know, feelings. Okay, right here. Right foot steps back, low lunge. Left foot steps back, plank pose. We're going to take a little vinyasa here. So fingers spread wide, but we're going to let it go all the way to the floor. Follow the exhale. Land on the belly. Keep the shoulders lifted. Go to the top of the feet first. And first activate from that distal place. So go from the toes pressing down. You feel the tops of the feet press the floor. You fire up your quads, right? The fronts of the thighs. And then squeeze that mid back so that your traps kind of pull your shoulder blades down first. Then the upper back, right? Trying not to put this into your neck. Place that strength in the arms and you press the floor away. Belly pulls in so you rise up for your cobra. Right, and you can be really, really sort of dynamic and a little wiggly here, making sure your hands are on the floor. So you're not just wiggling because I told you, but you're wiggling to explore how you're making this shape. Okay. Roll back to down dog. Okie dokie. Here we go. So you find a couple things that we've learned over the last week or so. Walk your hands back to your feet. Okay, inhale to a flat back. You'll sit to chair pose. That's a deep one, right? I'm starting to really kind of fall in love with the depth and the strength of these chair poses, these sort of strong Utkatasana thigh work. Okay, inhale up to stand. Right here, you're going to bring your hands to your heart and bring the right foot off the floor. So that's where the right knee is bent, and then you're going to turn your heart to the right, touching my left elbow, top of my right knee. Right, so there's a little bit of a tuck. So I'm taking my left ribs towards my right hip and keeping my right hip as stable as possible so it's more of a trunk rotation and tone. Okay, and then when I burst this out, I'm going to send the right leg back and the left arm to the floor. So you get a little half moon pose, not even really that little. Right arm reach forward, and then you get into a standing split. Okay, walk your hands forward to the front of the mat. Tuck your right knee in towards your face, and then you're going to take it under and over, straighten it. This one's left arm's going to reach. I have a couch right there, right? So fallen warrior, left arm's reaching it up, and you're in a nice open space. Nice tucked down right shoulder away from the ear, right down towards the right hip without hucking that right hip towards these shoulders. So you're going to keep that right hip also tucking towards your left heel. Keep that space open. Left hand to the floor. Right knee bends, tucks in. Keep the shoulders forward. Open the shoulders. Open the heart. Right? And you're going to feel like you want to step over to the left, but we're not. But your left heel does turn to the left. Okay. Tuck it back in. Place the foot between the hands. Okay. Sweep this up. It's our first high lunge. Awesome. Let the left knee bend a little bit. All right, so you just welcome in that good feeling of really what it is to be this kind of, get this kind of clarity. And part of what the shedding, right, that I mentioned in the beginning of class, is when we go through all of our sort of moon cycles, we set our intentions, we make our transitions, our changes, our shifts, there's always a byproduct. So something leaves behind us. So whatever that is, right? We make sure that we compost it, right? We send it where it needs to be. You're going to step this into standing split with the hands a little bit more in front, right? Your left knee is going to bend, and then your right arm is going to pick up. So now you have a twisted version of half moon pose with a bent left knee. Okay? And then the sneaky part here is now you're going to bend the right knee. So you get all your weight to shift into that right leg. And then you bring this up to stand with the left knee lifting. This is the hip opener, so you're going to place that left ankle right above the right knee and sit yourself into a sort of figure 4 chair shape. No big deal. Woo, for me maybe. Okay, see if you can keep your legs in this shape and just gently bring either hands to your foot and knee or your hands to touch the floor. This is a really nice opportunity to notice where you have a surplus of sort of overacting energy, and it tends to be in the neck and the jaw. So if you tuck your chin just slightly, notice the energy you just sort of regained, right? Maybe preserved. And without over pushing this into the left glute of the bent knee, okay, let it be sort of distributed. So you lean into the toes of the right foot, maybe even lift the right heel and lean into your arm. So you'll feel a little sort of shift of weight, gravity. Okay, right heel goes to the floor. Whoo, come up to stand. Left foot to the mat. Yay, and arms up to the sky. And you follow your fold over the legs and down to the toes. Pretty good. All right, so we're in a place where Wednesday classes, calling this Veracity class, it could be any day. Sorry, we're coming from a Wednesday class, which is typically when we do this, and this is when I'm posting it. You can jump or step. You can go through a vinyasa sweet and slow, or you can kind of ride it with the energy that you have for today. So that's up to you, right? Hands plant, push into the floor, step or jump. Plank to chaturanga or straight to chaturanga. Always an option. Up dog to down dog. And since we're in a Veracity practice, right, and you want to sort of figure out why does he always say jump or step, or why does he say plank to chaturanga or straight to chaturanga? Straight to chaturanga actually lands you with a little more sort of a buoyancy because your elbows are bent. The problem with jumping back to a plank pose is we tend to, not everyone, lock your elbows and arms straight. And so that can be very jarring into your shoulders, into your elbows, also into your neck, right? So there is a bounce there. There's a little lag time. So just know that there's something that goes on there that we still should pay attention to. So walk your hands back. Now we're back at the toes. Right, so there's my traditional little monologue. Inhale through a flat back. Yay, the best flat back, right? So now you notice sort of that trajectory of embodiment. Repetition builds you into being like, yeah, I know at the end of, near the end of class, when I'm going into these shapes again, like they don't require as much direction. There's a reason for that, right? Okay, come up the stand. Woo. And then your exhale, when your hands come to your heart, left foot comes off the floor, so left knee is bent. Right, take a big inhale here. So this turn, it's a turn and a bit of a tuck. So I don't know, you might have a higher lift of your knee. I'm not that high, so maybe it's not as much of a tuck for you. But my hands are still trying to remain at my heart as my right elbow comes to my left knee. Right, and you just kind of get a good feeling of what that twist is like here. You've got the good feeling of what it takes to initiate from the heart first, because that's where your trunk is rotating. And then for the rest of it, which is kind of the stuff that we tend to take for granted because our stability as yogis tends to first come from the work in our legs, right? So legs are giving us a good shine of what they've been doing well for us. We're taking a half moon pose into a standing split. Ooh, my hamstrings are tight from running today. That's a nice feeling. You walk your hands forward to a three-legged plank. Make sure your earbuds are not falling out. And then you're going to tuck your knee. Lean towards your face. Take that strength, lengthen it first. And this is a fallen warrior. So right arm is going to go up and open. This is sort of my happier side. My left shoulder blade seems to have a little more comfort in its glide and mobility and range of motion maybe, to really kind of keep my neck clear, keep my low back clear, and allow me to sort of explore this reach. We're all different, right? Right hand to the floor, left knee tucks. Keep the shoulders forward. Remember, this is a plank with a little crossover reach of that left foot. Right, so the right heel goes a little bit more to the right, so you can really twist and kind of squeeze out what you're getting rid of in the middle. Tuck the knee, place the foot. Here's our high lunge. Going very quickly. Right, so you're in a high lunge. Right, we're not mad at that. Very much enough to let the right knee bend, to get kind of reorganized with your posture, right? Don't be afraid to wiggle yourself into it. The tendency, right, is people get really sort of belly soft and forward and really, really crunchy in the low back, and then everyone's wincing. So I thought you're going to wince in my class from this. It's just because you're doing so much leg work in this pose, not because it's hurting your low back, right? So this one is actually the remedy for low back pain. So we have to allow it to be. And that's that hip extension in that right leg. Information. Okay, come forward into that left leg. You're going to step into that left leg and take the left arm up, and you can bend that right knee. Okay, this is a twisted version of a half moon pose. You're going to bend that left knee, and you're going to notice you're going to sink into some clarity here. Your right hand doesn't have to do as much work, and then you can push out of that left leg for that right knee to bend as you come up to stand. Okay, right ankle comes right above the left knee, and first we sit here, right? So yogi's choice, really what you do with your arms here. Right, it can be really distracting. I have a tighter right hip than left hip. It has to do with like dominance and favoritism and maybe, you know, stuff that we do in our bodies that are sort of we don't know. We have patterns and routines of ways we do stuff. Even the way you sleep does influence the way sort of your mobility kind of moves forward in the day. And if you tend to be a person that moves around a lot, you probably don't notice as much because you warm up and you start to get into the good stuff sooner, quicker. And then for others, right, it takes a little bit of time. It might not even happen every day. All right, so right here, like before, lean into the hands, and you might lift the left heel, and just kind of noticing that you're just sharing. Share your weight to lean into the hands. Share your breath to open up those places that are kind of working as heavy hitters right here, which is still the right glute, right? Both hips, sides, balance, breath. Bring the heel to the floor. Whoa, come up to stand. Right foot to the floor, right? Catch your breath and reach up to the sky. Yeah, exhale, fold. Woo! Stay here for 3 breaths in a simple forward bow. You can close your eyes. Would be no problem. And you can feel your breath, and your breath should be giving you that reference that you've been doing some work, right? The work of the body translates into things that are transforming, and as things transform, they need more oxygen. That makes tons of sense. That's just science. If you like science, that's cool. If you don't care about that, just know that your energy is going all in the right direction. Right? So that's your key ingredient is good energy. Okay, inhale to a flat back. On your exhale, knees bend, hands plant, find the floor, push into the floor. And like I said, even if you're going to hop generally to a plank pose and not just straight to chaturanga, do it with soft elbows, right? So you might notice that you've got a little bit of a nice give and a nice stable ability to push, right? So I jump back and I have just kind of I'm going to call it like a 15% bend. So give me that opportunity to just kind of feel that I can choose my action that comes next, right? Chaturanga to up dog, and up dog to down dog. Okay. All right, so let's just kind of go straight to my little promise for our evolution of the poses we've been doing from the past, right? So walk your hands back to your toes if you haven't already. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold, right? That's cute. Inhale all the way up to stand. There's your hamstrings, arms up, hands to your heart. So as yogis that practice this very often, going from that forward bow to the flat back to stand, think about that as sort of a stiff leg deadlift that is just really helping you like bring in the dynamic tone that comes up hamstrings. And if you like hamstrings and booty, that's the kind of work that sort of builds those areas. Of course, after a good warm up. Okie dokie. All right, so let's make this shape. I'm psyched about it. Take the arms up to the sky, right knee bends, turn over your right shoulder, elbow and knee tuck, right? So your knee might even be a little bit higher right here now, so that's the difference, right? Take that to half moon pose, left hand down. Right? Maybe your right ankle is even kind of rising up a little higher. Your right arm kind of reach a little bit more forward. You weight shift into your left hand even a bit more to help catch you to land into a nice, sweet standing split, right? That standing split is actually going to ride forward into a plank pose, three-legged, and your right knee is going to tuck. We're not going to cross underneath on this one. You're going to go right into stepping, right foot forward, left knee down. Okay, top of the left foot, so we're coming up for an Anjaneyasana. We're going to do this sweet and easy. So bring your hands to your sides, to your hips. I have my fingers pointing forward. My thumbs, my webs, my L's are wrapped around towards my back so that I can kind of brace my low back to make sure I feel safe. Elbows squeeze together and down as chest lifts. Okie dokie. All right, come forward. This is just a little thing to show what we've been doing. So if you've missed a little bit of this, there's no problem. Tuck your left toes. What we've been doing is we've been sort of using that back leg, the trailing leg, and playing with these really cute kind of behind the stationary leg, the right leg, little sort of wraparounds, right? So tucking out to the side laterally, or we've been entirely going around to the front. Right, now we're going to take that, so you can either try that, right? First, just take it out to the side. So we're not focusing as much on that one that we've been doing. That'll come later in our power yoga classes, right? But then when you push into that right leg, lift that left knee, left leg, and then sweep right hand back to find the foot. This is not unfamiliar either, but this part might be. You're going to bend your right knee, left foot is lifting. You're going to take now that bottom hand, left hand, and go to your right ankle and turn your chest as you sit in your right hip, lift your left knee. That's a really, really cute pose. Some people do this on tiptoe. I'm not in a really steady place in my apartment, so I don't know if that's really a good idea, but it also gives you this perfect opportunity to transition this up and out, standing, left ankle to right knee. This is not staying here. You're going to bring your hands down, grab your left big toe, and you're going to take this to an Utthita Hasta. So that just looks like a little standing pose with either left knee bent or left leg lifting. Okay? That's fun. And then you're going to fly this forward to a warrior three action to let it go. True warrior three to a low lunge. Woo. There are my runner legs. I don't think I stretched after I ran. That makes a lot of sense. So three-legged chaturanga. Right, so I admit I am human. Up dog to down dog. We'll finish. Hands walk back to left to both feet. We'll do left side. Inhale to flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, flat back to stand. Right, so now that you've been mentioned, that's the work there. Maybe that gives you a good reference. Left knee lifts high, and you turn your exhale over that left shoulder. Right, so now my knee is bigger and it's taller, lifted, stronger, more spacious. Maybe it's because I mentioned it on the last slide. So more familiar. Ha ha. Prove myself right. Right hand down, left arm up. Ooh, half moon pose. I'm just waiting for the clarity to kind of come through on my sort of areas of concern. Right? We all have our sort of sweet spot where you're like, yeah, this is where the good stuff's happening. I haven't seen it yet. Feeling a little bit of it. Right, so that's my right side. Walk your hands forward to a three-legged plank. Left knee tucked so you can place the foot between the hands. This is our little low Anjaneyasana, so it's your opportunity for back bending. Right knee to the floor, top of the right foot pressing the floor to keep the right knee light. Shift, though, your weight back towards that foot, away from the left foot. Hands, again, are at the heart, shoulders back, include the head, somewhere safe in the neck. Don't close off your airway. You're keeping your hips relatively square and even and balanced. Okay. Whew. Come forward. Yay. Hands touch. Right knee lifts. You're stepping. Here's your first, your quick and easy, our cute little standing split with a bent right knee. Left arm is going to reach back, and then you find the foot. Then you're going to bend the left knee as you lift your right knee. Right? Everything kind of comes streamlined in its abstractness. When you go to hold that left foot, you can lean your right hand into it and open your chest to your left. Right? Eyes can be on the floor for balance. And then your left leg has already got you so rooted to the floor. That might be the most clear feeling of standing from one leg into a deep forward bow as you get up to there, right? Right knee bends, ankle above the left knee. I'm just going to turn to front so you can see it. And then you're gently just kind of sinking in to the good work that you just did, right? Clearing, refined beauty, right? Center line, grab that right big toe, come to stand. Here's your Utthita-hasana. Take your time since we've got it, right? Utthita-hasta, happy. Okay, and this is quite a move here too as you inner rotate that lifted open leg, right? And you go forward into that foot to balance, and then you let it go till you get to your warrior three. Okay, I have to get to my mat. There's my dog toy. Here's a little lunge. Ooh, and you choose. You might want a three-legged chaturanga. You might not. Right, sweep for your up dog. Go for down dog. Let's take 3 breaths from down dog. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Soften the heart on the exhale. Inhale one more time this way. So that exhale out the mouth. A pretty nice opportunity to notice where you've sort of cleared space, what you've burned off or let loose, and then maybe even feel or see what it is that floats away from you. So what is no longer useful from us still has to go somewhere. Hopefully it's carbon-based and it goes somewhere that becomes fruitful for some other growth. Okay. Look forward to your thumbs. Light little hop of the knees to the floor to your thumbs. Cross your ankles, right? Lean behind the heels. And then we're actually going to take a little moment to lie on the floor. So your feet go to the floor. Average width of my hips. Shoulders to the floor. And let your hands come to your chest. Chest or solar plexus if you please. Your ribs are fine. Maybe even the belly if that's okay. Right now, just wherever your hands have landed on your body, your torso, your midsection. These next few breaths, feel the breaths of fully being alive and well in your being in this moment, right? So you feel your breath expand into your hands. You feel your rib cage really take that space up to hold it and to release it. One more like that. And let it go. Of course, if you feel like maybe that was just too sweet not to do one more, or if you missed it on the previous one, try to take it in again. You can stay here as long as you wish. Myself in this little mini video that we made, this is going to be the end point. I'm reaching my arms. You could do the same over your head. Wiggle and feel, shimmy the hips, feel nice. Wiggle the toes, the fingers, the hands, the wrists. Awesome. Bend your knees so the feet can go to the floor. And wiggle your butt just a bit. Over to your right side so you can press up to your seat. We're at our seat. Here I am, here you are. Close your eyes for one more moment just to let it be clear. Let me seal the deal. What we've become familiar with, what we've let go of, right? If you think of unfamiliarity or the not knowing as a type of ignorance, but still ignorance holds a place, right? There's a space for it. So it transforms into familiarness, right? And that familiarity is really cute because even in that we have new outcomes, right? New occurrences, new discoveries, things that continue to change and evolve. So we are never done, stuck, or stopped, right? We might miss the line a little bit, but that's an easy fix, right? Let your hands come together at your heart. And to all the things that we do to be well and weller and to share namaste. Okay. Have a great day, rest of the day. Do whatever you need to do. Stay cute. Talk soon. Thanks for coming. If you're new to me, I'm on Instagram. MikeeYoga, MikeeYoga, YOGA. And I'm on Instagram. So follow. You do you. And donate as you wish. It is appreciated. And I'm here. Peace. Bye, y'all.